baby. It's your boy Shaka Billionaire Mafioso, the done died, the coldest ninja with a nunchuck swinging behind his back, aka Shaka Black, aka Shaka Flame. Hey man, I forgot the damn. Listen, bruh, we got some more Starfield to get into because I am excited. I actually reacted to a video of the possibility of a leak for Elder Scrolls 6. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully it doesn't turn into a situation like Red Dead Redemption to Grand Theft Auto, where Red Dead, which is a good game, gets super underdeveloped and almost forgotten about because they have such a much bigger game in the pipeline. So I know Starfield is going to be great if Bethesda really puts its elbow grease into it. It's going to be a game that's great to play for years to come. They're talking about a great modding community. So that's going to expand the game, give a game a good 10 years past when they forget about it, you know. So let's see what else we got going on.
Starfield news,
with
but
Starfield.
it's smaller stuff.
Can I hear it?
So I haven't bothered making a video about all of the stuff, and instead I just wanted to wait for more things to come out so I could just sort of pile it all
Starfield look like it's gonna be super nice
video instead of making like 100 3-minute videos, right? So figure this is a very quick news roundup, but we do actually have quite a bit to talk about.
You learn from
so
your pops.
Just not waste any time and get straight to the point. Now, starting off, the other day we saw all over Twitter and Reddit, and I even saw one post on Instagram that was showing Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, and Pete Hines from Bethesda are both.
I need to get back on Diablo. Well, I've been playing Diablo, I just haven't been streaming.
A third unknown account. So it's good to see that the game is probably running well on consoles, otherwise I'm sure these three people would be moaning at Bethesda. I'm insanely jealous right now, but the wait is almost over. Moving on, one of Bethesda's main developers in a mill has been tweeting a lot about Starfield recently, saying the following, quote, "There comes a point making every game where we've played it so much it's easy to forget that most people haven't. Generally right before release, when I've sorted through pages of eternal feedback."
That makes sense.
Like, the fact that Starfield isn't out in the wild yet is hard for me to reconcile. So obviously not a lot of news in that single tweet, but it's nice to know that the team at Bethesda are...
So that right there, hold on, pause, god damn it. That right there just shows that the game, if Bethesda's playing it fully and it's already online, it's not going to be one of those half-baked games that come out and now don't get me wrong, it's going to be bugs and glitches, but it's not going to be immersion breaking glitches, and it's not going to need entire almost DLC level updates for it to be optimized and running the way it's supposed to. So that's good, but we never had that problem with Bethesda. Maybe I think Fallout 76 had a lot of bugs in it, if I'm not wrong, but they've never really been good at online games. They've always been single player. You could put a lot of hours into the single player campaign, or not even a campaign, but the story, and that's always what they've been big on. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Playing the game a ton and having fun with it. You know, we never really saw any tweets like this from developers about Fallout 76, and I think that we can all understand now why. The big takeaway for me here is that we're seeing people not just testing the game, but just straight up playing it, enjoying it, and having fun with it. If the game was a huge mess, I don't think that we would be seeing tweets like this, because the devs would be running around like headless chickens trying to fix the game, right? Well, next we do actually get something very interesting again from Emil, who also said that he's experimenting with his latest Starfield playthrough, making a barbarian character based on his other characters from Conan Exiles and Diablo 4. So I'm assuming this is a melee only character, which is cool to see, but again, sadly nothing too big here. Shortly after this, Emil did post a thread saying, quote, "I know this isn't what any Starfield fan wants to hear from me, but I feel like I need to make this clear. No one other than Todd Howard himself is authorized to talk publicly about unreleased game info. That's the job of our PR/marketing/community folks. You have tons of questions, I get it, and my vague posting about the game doesn't help. I'm so humbled by your anticipation of Starfield, seriously. It's mind-boggling to me, so it really does pain me to say that I simply can't answer 99% of your questions." He then ends the thread with, "I can't share my opinions on game content, I can't talk about performance, and I can't discuss most things. I signed an NDA. I'm a professional and I don't want to get fired. But your support is everything to us. You fill my heart every day. Best fans ever." Now, look.
Okay, so when you say statements like that, don't get mad when that little teenager get inside them files and leak it. You know, y'all need to use that as free PR because Grand Theft Auto, y'all always holding out. Rockstar, y'all always holding out on people, and people want this game, man. And these little kids smart, man. They know how to get into some files and into some secret information. You know what I'm saying? Or some sensitive information. So, hey, that's what it is, man. I think y'all should give us a leak, give us a gameplay trailer, give us something. Let's see what it's talking about, man. For real.
Look, I know that this
looks super nice,
but for me, this is actually really nice to hear. It's clear that Bethesda are very grateful that we, as a fan base, are getting excited for their games, even though this is a new IP that we've never heard of before, that we've never seen before. It must feel
but it's from Bethesda,
right? To see thousands and thousands of people hyped for a new IP like this.
They got a track record.
All the shit they took for Fallout 76, which, yeah, okay, was deserved, but still. Well, next up, we also saw Aaron Greenberg tweet recently that the Xbox Game Showcase and Starfield Direct is now their most viewed show to date, which is pretty huge, with over 92 million views, which is absolutely crazy. They've got to let me host one of these shows at some point so I can get 92 million views. Again, this is nuts though, really just showing how excited people are for Starfield.
92 million
now, of course,
is crazy.
Not all of these 92 million viewers are people watching just for Starfield, and a lot of these are people watching more than once. But I think that most are people watching for Starfield, right? It's clearly one of, if not the most anticipated 92 game million of this year. But just very quickly, in other news, there is something somewhat negative that I want to quickly brush over.
Starfield is going to do what Star Citizens can't do. It's going to be optimized for consoles, which is way more of an audience than the people on the master race PCs, man. Like, everybody doesn't have $5,000 to shell out to a 4090 graphics card and an i9 processor and all that, you know, not bullshit, but all that, you know. You put it on Xbox, put it on the S, put it on the X, put it on the PlayStation 5, you know. It's gonna be way more accessible to people, and I think that's the key to this. Because don't get me wrong, Star Citizen, it's huge, it's a huge game and stuff, but there's a lot of features that aren't in the game still. There's a lot of promises being made and stuff, and then you gotta still apparently you don't gotta pay for all the ships and stuff, and there's free to flies and stuff like that, but the hardware you need, which is like 32 gigabytes of RAM to get inside the game, is like, come on, bro, you know. And then you need an i7, so that right there alone, that's not even the graphics card. So it's like, yo, let's just pay this $500 for the X, pay this $500 for the PS5, pay the fucking $250 for the S, and let's get this game in, because the space race for gaming is on. Like, I don't know what it is, but right now this is the wave, and Bethesda's definitely gonna take it and get it and really maximize it, because Bethesda always does a good job, you know. And they're not gonna do what CD Projekt Red did with Witcher, when the Witcher was a stellar game and was rolling out good, but when they try to get the futuristic Cyberpunk, they crashed and burned, and then had to pick up the pieces and still made a good game. But it would have been way different if the initial launch was, you know, smooth and the game was complete.
PC Gamer,
you would have got a way more better reviews.
PC Gamer making negative Starfield tweets and articles, and all I really have to say is, it sucks to see, but sadly that's what gets them clicks. That's why a lot of content creators do nothing but make negative videos. They're appealing to a bunch of haters that thrive on this stuff, and while yeah, it's pathetic that they do this, I think that we just need to not pay any attention to it. Honestly, guys, the more you complain about them doing it, the more they're going to keep doing it because you're viewing it, right? Now, there has also been a somewhat ridiculous amount of people hating the idea of Radiant Quest in Starfield. Like, people all over the internet right now are posting things like, oh, Starfield has Radiant Quest, I'm going to be pissed, and okay, so Starfield might have Radiant Quest, thank God I didn't
What is a Radiant
Quest? All that stuff, and I honestly have no idea where this suddenly come from.
What is a Radiant Quest?
Don't know if some crappy news site made an article about it for clicks, or if another content creator briefly mentioned it and it just blew out of proportion, but yes, of course, Starfield
is a Radiant Quest?
It's an open world RPG, Every single open world RPG in existence that I've played at any rate, and I've played a lot of them, have Radiant quests. It helps build the map, it gives you things to do, and also helps you find resources and money and cool loot. And look, I agree Fallout 4 took the Radiant quest mechanic way
Are those
too
like
far,
pointless
but
quests?
Bethesda has learned a lot from that lesson, I think, and I don't think it will be that bad, but yeah, I don't really understand why this is news. Of course, Starfield is going to have Radiant quests. Anyone with any Bethesda knowledge could have told you that before we even got the official Starfield announcement all those years ago. And you know what? This is actually a very good chance for me to talk about something that I've honestly
people
been
in the comments tell me what that
for
is
the last year or so, and that's this. So many people aren't expecting an RPG from Starfield, and it's going to bite you in the arse when Starfield comes out and lead to disappointment. The amount of comments and tweets I see from people, and I just sigh in sadness because these folks are clearly expecting a story-based game and not an RPG. And I think it's mostly people who haven't played other Bethesda games, so they just don't really know what to expect. And like, obviously no hate to those people, it's just sad to see because, you know, I can't do anything about it, I'm a fucking nobody. But if that's what people are expecting, then that's what people are expecting. But so many people are saying things like, oh, what's the main character's name, and why haven't we heard the protagonist speak yet?
Listen, if you've never played a Bethesda game, the fact that Bethesda is taking this and using their formula with it is way better than something like Mass Effect. Like Mass Effect, it wasn't as expansive. It was a good game, but it wasn't as expansive as something like Elder Scrolls Skyrim and all the freedom and creatability that you have in that game. So I don't understand why you would want a linear story-based game in a Bethesda game. Like that's like,
and even some of the speculation I see in other people's videos, it's just clear to me that they don't really know what they're getting into. And of course most of us don't for the most part, but if you haven't already, just go and play Skyrim, go and play Fallout 4.
You have an idea of it.
Just get a feel of what Starfield will be like, because I don't want anyone to go into Starfield expecting a story-based game and then getting angry at Bethesda when they realise, oh, it's a deep RPG. Anyway, sorry for that very quick off my chest, but that is pretty much everything
we want a deep RPG.
that has happened in the last week or so. I just wanted to make a very quick news roundup to keep everyone up to date on what is currently going on with Starfield. So please do drop the video a like for me if you haven't already, and if you do want to stay up to date with all Starfield news, leaks, discussions, and plenty of lore and character build videos and stuff like that when the game finally releases in just 45 days, then consider subscribing. I'd appreciate you massively. Lastly, as always, a massive thank you to the channel members. I really can.
Alright, man. Listen, wanting a story-based art, I mean, that wasn't much new from Starfield. We know it's going to be a great rollout. We know it's going to be more smooth than what we've seen, and way more characters in something like Elite Dangerous Odyssey. And I don't know the player base, how many players play Star Citizens, but it's not gonna rival Bethesda. Bethesda's a powerhouse, you know what I'm saying? And I'm looking forward to playing it. I hope it's like, you know, the gunfights could be like Destiny. I like Destiny a lot. The mechanics for guns and the first person aspect of Destiny was awesome, man. And that's what I hope it plays like, you know. And I'm looking forward to it, man. I think it's actually coming out in a few months, if not. But don't quote me on that. We just got to see where it goes. But that wasn't much new news. We covered a lot of this in the previous reaction videos. So we just got to keep waiting and see what they do, you know. But it's your boy Shaka Billionaire Mafioso, the done died coldest ninja with a nunchuck swinging behind his back, aka Shaka Black, aka Shaka Fuego, aka SB Panther, aka Shaka Flame, man, aka Master Chief. You feel me? Y'all like, comment, subscribe, dislike. Let me know what you think. Let me know what a Radiant quest is, man. I'm all here for it, man. Peace.